Right, I'm not gonna. Right, so when I look at this test, right, we're not going to do all of it, right? I just want to look at the variances there, right? And then the rest, I'm sure you guys can. I'll share a solution with you. Then you can just look at it and see how they did it. And then if you struggle, of course, you can always let me know. Then I'll assist there. All right. So in terms of this question, right, they did ask us with regards to part A. It says for the floor polish division, calculate material and then labor variances for March 2013 in as much detail as possible. Right, now I'm just going to do the mix and yield variances. All right, the rest it will be good practice for you. All right, to see that it wasn't really that difficult though. Right, so we're given P&S manufactures floor polish and liquid soap for commercial clients. Both product lines are sold in 10-liter containers. The company is critically aware of their trading environment and uses a standard costing system which is reviewed every 6 months. The last review was done on 1st of March 2013 for the 6 months ending August 2013. The following standard cost was set for one 10-liter container of polish. So these are the standards. So direct material, right? The standards, and then the per unit. So in other words, remember they are selling 10-liter container. So this is a 1 unit is 10-liter container. So in regards to this 10-liter container requires this direct material. Right. And then you have direct labor 0.24 productive hours, variable overhead 0.24 hours, and then fixed overheads, container, total standard cost per unit, sales price per unit sitting there. Budgeted idle time is 4%, was considered in detail the above standard cost card. P&S allocates both variable and fixed overheads cost to production on the basis of productive labor hours. The budgeted fixed manufacturing overheads for the 6 months is 10,320,000. Manufacturing activities and incurring of production cost takes place evenly throughout a year. The actual cost incurred during March 2013 amounted to purchase of direct material. So we have polychloro. So we have it there, right? You see these are the actual costs now that they incurred. And then oxytone, and then leather is there. Then labor, we have 53,800 clock hours, all right? And then they worked this. Then variable overheads, 3,072,800. Fixed overhead is that, containers there. The actual production for March 2013 was 210 units of container purchased were issued 1 million liters of polychloro and 790 liters of oxytocin and 850 liters of leather were issued to production. All right, so in terms of this, this is the information that we have. All right, let's quickly look into it, all right, and see. So I want to do the mix and yield variances now. Well, I just want to quickly do the mix and yield variances, all right, so that we have clarity in regards to those aspects there. All right. So in terms of our question there, all right, let's quickly start off with the material mix variance. All right. So this is 2013, just one. Just two, I mean, all right? So mix and yield variance. All right, so we're starting off with the mix variance. All right, I want you guys to note something, all right, in regards to this. Remember now, we said in regards to the mix variance, all right, we're going to need the actual quantities, all right? So we have the actual quantities, all right, in regards to this. You see the material purchased is this, but what did they actually use? So the actual production, right? You see in regards to this, they produced 210,000 units, right, of containers, and then they used here. So in regards to this, the raw material that they have, so we have polychloro, right, in regards to this. So the material they have, so we have polychloro, all right. So in regards to this actual, actual quantity of chlorochloride they used in production. So you can see the actual quantity is sitting at 1 million liters. You know, so they use 1 million liters of polychloro. And then after that, we have another ingredient, which is oxotone. Right, so in regards to this oxotone, so they used, right, in regards to this, they used 790 liters, right, of oxotone. And then after that, we then look at lather. Right, so in regards to this, so lather is sitting at, so in terms of this, we have it sitting at 850 liters. Right, so this is the actual quantity, right, which they actually used. Right, so in total, it gives us how much? Right, so in total, it gives us a total of 2,614,000. This is the actual quantity. Now, we want to determine the mix variance. So we said no in regards to the mix variance. Remember, said mix variance. Now, we are saying based on input proportion, material input proportions, right? How much or how were the proportions supposed to be, right? How much material should have been used, right? Based on the input proportion. So now let's determine now the standard input proportion. Standard input proportion. Right, so we have polychloro, oxo, and then lather. Right, so in standard terms, 1 unit, based on this, they said no, 1 unit requires 5 liters of polychloro. So we have 5 liters, right? And then 1 unit also requires 3.5 liters, right? And then for this one, it requires 4 liters, all right? And then in total, it gives us how much? So we add together. So this is the ratio, the proportion that we're supposed to use initially, all right? So it gives us, so we can just take 5 out of 12.5, all right? Then 3.5 out of 12.5, and then we have 4 out of 12.5. All right, so here we're going to have 5 divided by 12.5, and then we have, so we can convert it to percentage. Then we have 3.5 divided by 12.5. Then we have 4 out of 12.5. So in percentage terms, all right, so we're dealing with, someone can choose to work with the decimals, is too fine. All right, so in this case, the standard proportions are this. All right, so now, remember now, if you look at when we did the mix variance, all right, in regards to our mix variance, all right, just want to take you to the formula there. All right, so in terms of our mix variance, we looked at actual in standard quantity. So the material they actually used in standard quantity. So we are saying, yes, you used this, all right? So in total, this is what you used. This is the material they used. So we're saying if you had followed our recipe book, how much should have been used for polychloro? How much should have been used for oxotone? How much should they have been used for lather? That's what we are looking at. Right, so in terms of this, so we have actual quantity in standard terms. Right, so we have polychloro. Right, they should have used now 40%. 40% of what? Of the total material. Right, so it's 40% of total material, which is 2614. Right, this is what they should have used. Then you come to oxotone. They should have used 20% times 2614. I don't know if you guys follow. Are we on the same page, guys? Or we lost?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. But if there's anyone who's lost, feel free to ask. right? So these are our standards, right? So in regards to this is what they should have used, right? Saying no, this is what you should have used. Right. So we have it sitting there. What happened? So we have 20%. Right. So we have it there. All right. And then you have 32% times 2614. Right. Take out that. So this is what they should have used. This is the proportion they have there. All right. So in regards to this now, which means now the mix variance. All right. So we're going to take what they used. All right. You see, we have 1 million minus what they should have used, which is this 1 million. Why is this one too big? Oh, this is 1,056,000. Okay, cool. Supposed to be not, it's supposed to be within the range, right? It's not supposed to be too big. Then you multiply with our standard price. Right? So in regards to this, what is the standard price? You see, the standard cost, 5 liter polychloro is 3.60. All right? So we have 3.60 there. So times 3.16. Right, that's what will give us our variance. The favorable or adverse. So we used 1 million instead of 1,056,000. Is it favorable or adverse, guys?
Favorable.
Favorable, right? We use lesser material. Well done, guys. So here we can just write F for favorable. All right, so this is for polychloro. Oh, I made a mistake. I should have, let me just do this. All right. Okay, let me include it in this code. Let's include it here. And then what happened? Right, so we have it favorable. So polychloro said it's favorable. Then we have oxotone. So oxotone, all right, so we're going to take, in regards to this, what we used, right? So we used 790, right? Minus, so we have 790 minus what we should have used, which is 739,200 times the standard price. So in this case, the standard price is 2.20. So times 2.20. All right, it will give us our variance there. Favorable or adverse, guys? Favorable or adverse? Adverse.
Adverse.
So we
Adverse.
used more material compared to what we should have used, right? So it becomes adverse. All right, well done, guys. So you can just write A for adverse, right? Or U for unfavorable is too fine. And then we have lather there. All right, so in regards to this, we used 850,000. Right? We should have used 844, 800. Then we multiply that with, we're going to multiply now with our price per unit, which is 0.60 there. So multiply with 0.60. So that's what it then give us. So is it favorable or adverse? Anyone, guys?
Adverse.
Adverse, right?
Adverse.
We used more than, right? So in regards to this, they used more than, so it becomes adverse. Right, good. Then you can net off your variances. Right? So the net mix and yield variance, it will be sitting at this. So in other words, the net mix and yield variance is favorable. Right? So aggregate or total mix and yield. Right? Sitting there. Sorry, total mix variance, not yield. Total mix variance. Right, let's look at the yield variance now. Right. Actual for P is 1 million. Actual for P is it? Come again. Actual for P is 1 million. Did I do I have an error somewhere?
I see that on the paper it's written 1.1, unless maybe I'm seeing on the wrong side. The actual cost.
Okay, let me just oh, here. No,
Yeah.
this is purchased, not used. We don't use purchased. We used. Do you see actual production? Yes. But I'm glad you picked that, right? We don't use so the only time we use, right, is only with regards to price. So purchase, remember, material purchase price variance. That's when we use the material purchase. There's quantities. But with regards to material quantity, all right, and the mix and yield, we use the actual material used in production.
Got you. Thank you.
All right, please. But I'm glad you raised that question. I believe you also assisted somebody who was lost as well there. All right. Okay. All right, let's proceed now. All right, and see what's happening next. So let's now do the mix and the yield variance now. So the yield variance. All right. So in regards to this, the yield variance. All right. So how are we going to go about? So we are going to need now for the yield variance now, we're going to need the standard quantity. All right. So the yield variance now, we're going to compare actual quantity in standard terms and the standard quantity. All right. So which means now our standard quantity. All right. So how much is going to be our standard quantity? So remember, we flex now our budget. So we have polychloro. All right. So the standard quantity. So we're going to take now, all right, in regards to polychloro. How many units did you actually produce? Do you see? They produced 210,000 units. Now, one polychloro in standard terms, it means 5 liters. Do you see? So in regards to this, how many liters now of polychloro, right, in standard terms should we have used? So we have 210 times 5. All right, so this is the standard quantity. So if 210 times 5 give us that. All right, then we have oxton. Right, so oxton, so we have 210,000 units that we actually manufactured and produced 210. Then you multiply that by the quantity per unit. The standard quantity per unit is 3.5 liters. So multiply with 3.5. All right, so that's what will give us our standard. So times 3.5 take us there. All right, and then we have ladder. All right, so in regards to this, so we're going to take 210 again times. So we're going to multiply that with, we multiply with 4. All right, remember our price is 4 there. So multiply with 4. All right, so we have 210 times 4. Take us there. Right, now the yield variance. All right, so we are saying, all right, we're going to take actual quantity in standard terms minus standard quantity. All right, remember standard quantity is the desired result now. All right, then the actual quantity is what we have there. So for polychloro, so we're going to take now, all right, the actual quantity in standard terms. We did work it out here. We have 1056,000 minus the standard quantity, which is 1050. All right, and then we multiply with the standard price per unit, which is 3.60 there. All right, so it will take us to, is it favorable or adverse? So in regards to this, what do we have? We should have used 1050, then we use 1056. Favorable or adverse? Adverse, right? All right, and then we have oxytone, right, in regards to this. So this the actual quantity in standard mix, all right, we have in regards to this, we have 739, 200. minus the standard quantity. So in terms of our standard quantity, we said it's 735. Then we multiply with the standard price, 2.2. Right? And then to give us how much? It's going to take us to, so it's this, right? So we should have used 735, we use 739. So still the same. And then we move on to ladder, right? So actual quantity in standard proportion is 844, 800 minus, right? Minus standard quantity. So our standard quantity is 814. Then we multiply that by, and we're going to multiply with 0.60 there. Right. So it's also
adverse.
yes. All right. So we then have our answer sitting there. Then we net this off. All right. So give us 33,720. So this is the total yield variance. Right. Of course, in your solution, right, you're going to find out they used a different method, right, to this one. But of course, if you master it that way, the one they used is still fine. But if you master it this way, it's still fine as well. All right. But both methods give the same answer. All right. So what's important is for us to get things right. Right. Otherwise, that's basically it. I know you guys are tired. All right. I'll see you guys on Thursday. All right. I think it's Thursday. What time again? 6:30. All right. Have a good evening, guys.
Thank you, Ian. Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Sorry,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
will on Thursday? So maybe a
So,
person can
so we're
join.
looking at performance and transfer pricing. All right. We're gonna do those two topics. Right. It's gonna be I think it's a long class, but yeah, we're gonna look at, those calculation of controllable profits and all that, then the calculation of what do you call it? Minimum and maximum transfer prices. So that's what we're gonna look at there. All right.
All right.
All right. Cool.
Hi, Ian. I just want to check. Are we not doing sales variances? Or did you guys already do it? Have I missed the class?
So the source variances, okay. In my mind, it was like there is, all right. Thanks for the reminder, actually.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see what I can do over the weekend. All right.
Okay.
It's all right. Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
You